Welcome to Tank World, where we dig deep into the legends of armored warfare. Today, we're talking about a rare American prototype that could have changed the course of post-war tank design, the T-32 Heavy Tank. Built during the final stages of World War II, the T-32 never saw combat, but it still represents a fascinating chapter in the evolution of U.S. military armor. It was big, powerful, and packed with potential. So why was it forgotten? Let's find out. By 1945, the U.S. Army had seen what the Germans were bringing to the battlefield. Tanks like the Tiger I and the even more intimidating Tiger II made it clear that American armor needed a serious upgrade. The M26 Pershing was introduced as a response to these threats, and while it was a step in the right direction, it still wasn't enough to guarantee superiority. That's where the T-32 comes in. It was conceived as a true heavy tank, an experimental leap forward that would combine increased armor protection with improved firepower, all based on the Pershing's successful design. The T-32 looked like a Pershing on steroids. It had a longer hull, a beefier suspension system, and an extra road wheel on each side to support the additional weight. The tracks were wider to distribute that weight more effectively, especially off-road. But the real standout feature was its gun. Instead of the standard 90mm gun found on the Pershing, the T-32 was equipped with the T15E2, a longer, high-velocity 90mm cannon designed specifically to deal with heavy German armor. This gun was powerful enough to penetrate the frontal armor of a Tiger II, giving the T-32 real potential as a tank killer. Armor protection was also significantly increased. The frontal armor was up to 12 inches thick in some places, especially around the turret and glacis plate. That made the T-32 incredibly resilient against most anti-tank weapons of the era. And despite its massive weight, around 54 tons, it was still decently mobile, thanks to the Ford GAF V8 engine. It wasn't fast by any means, but it could keep up with infantry and other armor formations when needed. Only 4 prototypes of the T-32 were ever built. Testing began in 1945, but before it could be mass-produced or deployed, World War II ended. With the war over and military budgets shrinking, the T-32 project was quietly cancelled. It was simply no longer needed. However, its influence didn't disappear. The lessons learned from the T-32 helped shape the next generation of American heavy tanks, particularly the M103, which would go on to serve during the Cold War. So while the T-32 never saw combat, it still holds an important place in tank history. It was a bold step forward in American heavy tank design, an ambitious machine built for a war that ended just a little too soon. Here on Tank World, we believe machines like the T-32 deserve to be remembered, not just for what they were, but for what they could have become. If you love rare and powerful tanks like this, be sure to subscribe for more stories from the steel giants of history.